So when you're using ScriptE on your iPad, the first thing you're going to want to do is to import your script into ScriptE. In order to do that, you need to make sure that your script is in the proper file format. So normally, most scripts are just in a PDF document. That won't work for ScriptE. A PDF is a pretty standard file format that stores all the text in the document simply just as text. And the amount of different formatting, it might be in different sizes, but they're all just formatted as text. They're all pretty standard. You need to import your scripts as an FDX file, which is the standard file format that's used by Final Draft, the Final Draft screenwriting software. Other screenwriting softwares occasionally have their own format, but usually you can export it as an FDX even if you're using a different program. An FDX will differentiate all the different types of text in a document. So as part of the document, it will say that this character is a character, this dialogue is a dialogue, this action is an action, this heading is a heading, and so on. A couple of things you need to do before you import your script is make sure that the pages and scenes are numbered. Sometimes when a script is altered or scenes get added, the numbers on these pages and scenes get jumbled up a little bit in the process. So they might not run in perfect order, and they might even include letters. So even if your script has absolutely no revisions or no changes whatsoever, you need to make sure that all the scenes and pages are numbered so that the ScriptE program can recognize that. Once you do that, you need to lock all the pages. This locks the page numbers so that if there is, say for example, a scene added at some point in the middle of the script, it doesn't jog all the other page numbers off by one. That will just confuse the ScriptE program and won't work if you do that. And this is important for ScriptE for some reason, I don't really know, but you gotta do it. So make sure you do it. As for the locking pages or the locking A pages function, most screenwriting programs have the ability to do this. Some of them I know it's not always a basic function, it's like a premium function. I know, for example, with Write a Duet, you need to pay a little bit extra on top of the basic plan to be able to lock the pages. But with Final Draft, it's just a basic function. So I would recommend just using Final Draft, honestly. Make sure you look at what screenwriting program you're using. See if you can export as an FDX, and you can also lock the A pages. If you can't do that, then you're not going to be able to import your script into ScriptE. You're going to have to get Final Draft, or you're going to have to get some similar program. So once you have your file ready and it's good to go, make sure it's stored on the exact same device that you're using to run ScriptE. In my case, it's an iPad, but you could be using a laptop or something. So open up ScriptE, make a new project, open it up, and press the revisions button down the bottom. And this is so you can add script revisions. Now in the revisions window on the left, you press the add button. This doesn't import the script yet. This just makes an empty packet to put the script in and to label it. So go back to the folder on your device that you were looking at the script in. Find the FDX file that you prepared earlier. Click on the corner, click share, and it'll show you a list of all the different programs or apps or whatever that you want to share to. Just make sure you scroll through all of them, find ScriptE, click on ScriptE, and share it to ScriptE. So the revisions window you opened up earlier should pop up automatically in ScriptE. And to the right, there's a little script files window, and that should have the new FDX file in there that you just imported. So tap on that, you press import, give it a moment to load, and it should be ready. But then it'll present you with the full script to read and check it. It'll give you the script, ask you to read it, and this is just to make sure there's no bugs or errors, and there's no missing pages or any glitches or anything like that. So have a quick look. So it looks good to me, so just press done in the top corner. It'll ask me if I'm happy with the script, if I'm ready to import it. I am, so I'll press proceed. It'll load for maybe 15 seconds, and then, hey presto, the script is imported into ScriptE. How nice. Now I can finally get to work. Now if there's any revisions to the script, so there's a second draft or whatever that happens after you start shooting, you can totally do that. You just use the exact same process, except you don't need to make a whole new ScriptE program from scratch. You can just import it into the pre-existing one. So open the revisions window like you did before, press add, and that'll add a new packet just like the first one, except relabel this one, just call it like draft 2 or something like that. And import the second draft the same way you did the first one by finding the file in your on your device and pressing share, clicking on ScriptE, and then it should be in the ScriptE. And just follow the exact same steps every single time there's a revision. I don't think there's a limit on how many revisions you can put into ScriptE. Now this should cover everything, but if you have any questions, you can comment, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can email the ScriptE people directly. It's pretty easy, and they're very good at responding.